it was doing that thing again where it was doing the fucking broadcast failed every time I tried, so third time was the charm again. So, as some of you may be able to tell, it is very early. It is not even 5 a.m. I've actually been up since only 4. I woke up on my own because I had to use the bathroom, and then my co-host had to use the bathroom. He is just now falling back asleep. He's been a little, like, hyped up, so I've been kind of, like, scrolling through TikTok and waking up myself. And I think I've got everything all set up. Again, it's, like, early morning. I haven't done an early morning stream in a hot minute. Also, I completely forgot that on Mondays, my husband will be getting ready for work. I just looked out that our first early morning Monday stream with the new recording schedule is falling on Memorial Day, so he has today off, so he is still asleep. I'm going to try and keep it that way. I feel like with some of these stories that will get me really hype, that's gonna be difficult to stay quiet. So my son's got his TV on in his room and he's asleep, so that won't be such a big deal, if anybody understands that. We're gonna probably have lots of yawning, which is funny because I've barely yawned since I've been up. But now that I'm on camera and talking a whole bunch, of course. I've also got this, like, really sore spot here in the side of my throat. Like, it started yesterday. No idea what it is, but it doesn't hurt to talk or anything. It's just... But yeah, then the next time I stream, which will be Wednesday, we will be streaming for our 1-year birthversary. I do not have anything for it. I said that I said that I might. Yeah, I don't know. I probably won't have anything for the background like I was thinking I might, but that's okay. But we're just gonna go ahead, roll just right into it, because probably as soon as we're done here, I might go back to bed. We'll see how easily I'll be able to do that. I guess it depends on how hype I get and how woken up I get by some of these. Man, I really hope there's not a lot of that. Sorry, I itched. Alright, we're just gonna go ahead and roll right into it and try and wake up. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Phoenix Reads. Today's episode is a series of Am I the Asshole? That's right, guys, it is episode 10 of our Am I the Asshole series / Am I the Devil series. As usual, I don't read any of the stories I'm about to read with you. I will leave any usernames in the description if you want to go leave your own opinion on their post, given it is still up. My username for Reddit is in the description. Feel free to tag me in stories you'd like to hear me read. Let's get started. I'm just... Oh, sorry, Bubby. He's, like, right up on my hip. It's probably easily... Yeah, he's, like... He loves being, like, right up on me or, like, right up behind me. So, no, don't put your face back there. I don't want to smother you. He's got his face, like, between the pillows behind me and my back. And I can just feel, like, his breathing heating up that one spot. And I'm like, no, let's not do that. Hi guys! It is episode 10. Can you guys believe that we are doing episode 10 of Am I the Asshole? Sometimes it still even blows me away. I might sound a little different because, again, this is the first time we're doing an early morning stream. I've spent the last, like, almost hour waking up, so I'm hoping that, I was just gonna say I'm hoping that we don't yawn as much as what happens sometimes, but yet here we are. we're just gonna go ahead, roll right into it, and try to keep things like maybe a little bit more to a minimum than what we usually do, but we are not, at the same time, we're also gonna try and not hold back too much. I'm sure as we go on, I'm gonna get more and more awake, so we're just gonna go ahead and roll right into it with our first Am I the Asshole story. Am I the asshole for pretending to not know who Jesus is to some guy from work who tried to lecture me at the bar? Why? He just keeps burrowing his head in my back. That heavy sigh. Why do people feel the need to lecture people about religion? I will never understand it, like, at all. I don't understand. Like, I have literally been trapped at work for 30 minutes, maybe even just a little bit past that, of somebody talking about Jesus to me before. Just not even just Jesus, but just his religion in general, which was Christianity. And the thing I'm gonna be kind of an asshole here. The thing I always get kind of a kick out of when talking to people like this is I always say, yeah, I grew up Christian, but I am no longer like that. I got tired of believing that in order to that you only can be a good person if you believe in Jesus. When I truly believe from like the deepest part of me that that you're not actually a good person if you're only a good person because you're afraid of somebody else. Like, if you're a good person, it's because you're a good person. And if you're gonna be a good person, you should be a good person just to be a good person, not because you're afraid of some big giant power that's going to punish you in the afterlife if you aren't a good person. Because, like, to me, it's like, let me put it from a woman's point of view, for other women, or for maybe some men to understand. It means more to me if my husband does something on his own for me instead of me asking him to do it. Like, if he stops by the store and gets me some flowers, it means more if he does it just because he thought about it all on his own, rather than me, like, being like, man, I would really like some flowers. I don't want flowers from the store because, one, I have cats and they like to knock shit over. So I don't like live flowers. I grow live plants, but I am more of a, like, if you're gonna buy me flowers, buy me fake ones, because one, they last longer, they stay looking better for longer, and my cats, I won't have to put water in the vase where my cats will knock it over. So, like, I don't like it if my husband gets me flowers, just for those reasons. Okay, but we're gonna stop getting sidetracked. So, I have hearing damage in one ear, and I sometimes have trouble hearing stuff the first time, depending on if they're on the side with my bad ear. Same. I grew up in a household full of either fairly deaf people or, like, their hearing practically gone. So, our TV was always super loud. Everybody yelled at one another, not because they were angry, just because they couldn't hear one another. So when I would listen to music as a kid, I would turn it all the way up so I could tune everybody out, and I definitely don't always catch what somebody says the first time around. I will be like, what? And then sometimes my brain will lag and put it together, because I'll hear, like, certain words out of the sentence, and my first immediate response is, so that way they know I heard them, is to go, what? And then my husband sometimes, especially my husband, he will start to repeat his sentence, and I go, wait, no, I got it. Like, it'll click in my head, and I'll be like, oh, yeah. And then if it's a question, I'll try to answer it. So yeah, I definitely understand that. Will you please get your head out of my back? I love you, but put your head on my waist. There you go. That works so much better than you heating up a spot on my back. Or here. Dico. He loves pillows. He loves resting his head on stuff. Okay. I also started a new job recently and went out for the first time with a bunch of coworkers. After a few drinks, this guy I didn't know came up to me at the bar, which was pretty loud and crowded, and said something to me that I only half caught. Again, like, I feel... Sorry. We're gonna probably have a lot of that now. I feel like half catching something, it makes you feel like an asshole just saying, like, what repeatedly. So, it's kind of... And when, especially when you're meeting new people, you're always kind of, like, nervous about saying anything. Like, what? Because it's like, you feel like when you actually are deaf, people say what so often or repeatedly, like, as a joke to their friends, and it's like, they never know, like, are you being serious? Like, are you fucking with them? But I could tell the vibe of it was something he had a problem with, me being gay, and he'd suggest I don't go saying that I'm gay around work. First off, if you are allowed to go around and talk about your heterosexuality, like, freely, then anybody else should be able to talk about whatever sexuality they are just as freely. It's 2023. Get the fuck over yourself. I figured he was doing me a solid. I am a lesbian in a state that's not too friendly to that, and often at a new job, someone will pull me aside and warn me who the bigots are at the office. I always appreciate it because honestly, that whisper network has saved my ass a few times, and it's so stupid that anybody has to be like that. Like, imagine being heterosexual and having to hide it from anybody. Hide who you love just because of their gender. It's so stupid. But I really didn't hear the name he said, so I went, who? He seemed surprised, like the guy was someone I should obviously know, and I was like, who did you say? And he said a name I still didn't catch. I was feeling kind of embarrassed, and honestly, I am sort of insecure about my hearing, so I didn't want to ask him to repeat himself a fourth time. So I was like, hey man, I'm sorry, but I'm blanking on the name. Could he point him out? I was still assuming he meant some coworker at the bar. He was going like, what the fuck? No, I can't. And acting mad. I didn't know the guy. And I started to get a little frustrated and said, dude, seriously, you're trying to tell me to look out for someone and you can't even tell me which guy you're warning me about? At that point, he raised his voice at me and yelled that it was Jesus Christ. I realized then he was not trying to warn me of some bigoted fucker at work. He was that fucker. This is where I might really be a dick. It had finally clicked for me. Took me long enough, I know. But at that point, I was starting to having pissed this guy off kind of funny. So I went, dude, no need to cuss me out for asking. He said he wasn't cussing me out. I said, seriously, so seriously, who is it? Because you're honestly freaking me out, man. And asked several times while he got increasingly frustrated and said, Jesus. To which I went, language, man, I'm not talking to you if you keep cussing me out. Which I think is hilarious because it's essentially pulling their whole, like, don't use the Lord's name in vain on them. Which, I am not going to lie, I still have that nasty middle school, like, early high school era attitude whenever... So, if somebody is being a dick and I find out that they're Christian, I will use every chance I get to say, God fucking damn it, or Jesus fucking Christ, as many times as I can in any situation. Like, I could, like, drop a piece of paper that I don't even need and go, God fucking damn it, Jesus fucking Christ. And I do it, I literally have this nasty habit where, especially if I don't like them, I do it on purpose repeatedly. He got mad and stormed off, and I went back to the table with my coworkers. A few of my colleagues, it says a few of my colleagues, me, what was up? It looked like something I said upset him. I was like, I don't know, it was so weird. He was talking about how I should hide that I'm gay at work because he knew some guy here would have a problem with it, but he wouldn't tell me what guy. And I hate to say this, but I'm starting to think there isn't another guy. My coworker said I should tell HR, and I was like, maybe I definitely will if he says anything again. I do feel a little conflicted about that, though, since past a certain point, I was just poking the bear. Am I the asshole for pretending to not know Jesus? I mean, for most of that conversation, you didn't know who the fuck he was talking about. And then I feel just once you did know, then you just kept at it. Because I feel like... So this is my stance, and it may be a weird one. I feel like if you had... if you had realized who it was and then tried to play into that conversation, all that would have happened with the rest of the conversation is, one, it would have went on longer. And two, it would have probably just been him chastising you. Because, one, nobody should ever feel like they have to defend themselves against anybody else, especially because of their religion. And so I feel like had you been like, oh, like that just would have made things... Because, one, I think that's just an awkward fucking situation to be in. And I feel like the way you did it, like, yes, at one point... Like, it may have made you seem to him like you were an asshole, but I don't actually think you were an asshole, because, one, it made him leave you the fuck alone a lot quicker. I would have been thrilled for that. And maybe next time I'll use that if I'm ever stuck and somebody's talking to me about Jesus, I'll be like, who? Who are you talking about? I mean, like, stop cussing at me. Like, I don't know who that is. It just... But my face gives a lot of my emotions away, so... it probably wouldn't work out for me. It'd probably just end up being something like, you're just being an asshole, because I'd be smiling about it. So I don't think you're an asshole, but I honestly, I feel like if I feel anybody is an asshole, I feel it is these people that feel the need to Christian talk down, like Christian talk down to other people just because of their sexuality or beliefs. Like, if they're a good fucking person, just leave them the fuck alone. Just because they're being a good person, not because they're scared of your deity, is the stupidest fucking reason. That's all I'm gonna say. Would I be the asshole for backing out as a bridesmaid in my friend's wedding? We have come across... I think we've all come across enough of these, like, wedding type stories where I already want to say no, because chances are the bride was being a major bridezilla. So, let's find out. I am a 28-year-old female and was asked to be a bridesmaid in my friend's 24F's wedding. I was asked 6 weeks ago, and her wedding is now 7 months away. Okay, that seems like it's a pretty decent time to, like, find a dress, you know, kind of clear schedules, stuff like that. I assumed that the normal expectations would be in place. Help plan / attend the bridal showers, bachelorette party, etc. And be part of the wedding day and reception. I expected some time and financial obligations, of course, but the responsibilities are really getting out of hand. Also, the vibe of the wedding has changed, and I'm nervous about the repercussions to my career. I am very interested to know how you're going to have repercussions to your career by being a part of a wedding. I must pay for my bridesmaid's dress, and she's got, like, prices for this. The bridesmaid's dress is $475. When I was planning my wedding, I was talking with one of my best friends, and we were looking at dresses, and I was looking at, like, dresses that were under, like, $50. Like, I was like, please do not spend more than $40 on your dress, because one, I don't know exactly what the weather's gonna be like. Chances are it's gonna be hot as fuck, because Ren Fair in September here in Iowa is usually, like, 98% of the time hot as fuck. It was beautiful that day. Like, short sleeve, you probably could have wore a long sleeve if you're really susceptible to, like, a chilly wind, but I thought it was absolutely beautiful. Pay for my hair / makeup on the wedding day, $250. I was looking at, like, beauty school places, because because they're still learning, it's usually cheaper, but they still do a really fantastic job. My only problem is that my wedding was at 11 o'clock in the morning, and most, like, to do stuff like that, you'd have to get in, like, 5 to 6 hours in advance, and there was no way my ass was waking up at like 5 o'clock in the morning to go get my hair and makeup done. I did it all myself. Well, I didn't do my hair. Both of my friends worked on my hair. Oh, he puppy dreaming. For anybody that's not watching and just listening, my co-host is sleeping next to me. He's puppy dreaming. So if you hear like weird noises in the background, you're like, what the fuck is that? It's him. He's dreaming. Pay for and host one of the events. Bridal shower, honeydew. What the fuck's a honeydew? The only thing I know what a honeydew is a fruit, and it's delicious, by the way. Stock the bar, bachelorette, etc. Excuse the fuck out of me? Each bridesmaid is responsible for funding and hosting one of the events at least $500. You can go fuck yourself on that one. I am sorry. Pay for my part of the out-of-state week-long bachelorette trip. Okay. I'm not rolling my eyes or being in shock at the, like, pay for yourself part. That makes sense. Like, if you're going on a trip with a bunch of girls, like, for fun, like, obviously you should pay for yourself. But the fact that it's a week-long bachelorette trip, who the fuck who the fuck that works full-time has the ability to just be like, oh yeah, I'm going out of, I'm not going to be able to work for a week because I'm going out of town for a bachelorette trip. For a week. I can understand maybe a weekend. Like, maybe including Friday. Like, leave Thursday night, don't work Friday, maybe take off Monday to have some time to recoup. And also, $675 plus food cost plus missing a week of pay at work. The fucking audacity of this bride. Contribute $100 to their honeymoon fund. You can definitely go fuck yourself. You know what? I'm raising this. This is a best friend red flag. Or this is not even a best friend. This is just a friend red flag. What in the absolute fucking hell kind of bullshit is this? Like, fucking hell. She specifically requested $100 donations. Purchase a gift off of their wedding registry. Nothing on the registry is below $150. Cover all of the odds and end costs. Wedding day shoes, matching bachelorette trip outfits / accessories, etc. What in the fuck? Why do you need to match on a fucking bachelorette party trip? I still can't believe I'm using the words bachelorette party trip in a sentence. Financially being a part of this wedding is going to cost well over $2,000. Again, I am expected to be spending money, and I'm not cheap. And I'm not cheap, but this seems excessive. It is excessive. Flat out, it is excessive. In fact, hold on. We're going to... Let's bring up the calculator here. If I can find it. There it is. Fuck, I don't have it on here. Never mind then. I was gonna do up the calculator because it's like $450. Then $250, so that's like $625. No, $725. Yeah, because so $725. Sorry, math is 1, not my strong suit, and 2, it's still early morning. So $725. Let's say like you don't spend more than $500 for the pay and host one. So that would be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So $12.25. And then $650 plus food. So let's just go ahead and round it up to another 1,000. So that'd be $22.25. And then another $100. So $23.25. Let's say the cheapest thing is $150. So $24.75. And then let's with like wedding day shoes, that'd probably be another like $250-ish. We'll do $225 just for my well-being. You're basically almost spending almost $2,500 on a wedding that's not yours. Just think about that for a second. Dropping $2,500 when David's Bridal has dresses that are only like $99. I'm just saying. The other issue that I have is the vibe of the wedding. Before, it was a typical traditional wedding. Now it's become heavily centered around alcohol and guns. I don't just mean that it's an open bar, but the actual theme of the wedding is now shots, and vows. No, I can't make this up. That is so fucking disgusting. Like, okay, like 10 years in the past me would probably be like rolling over about this, but like this is giving me bride is coming out in a camo wedding dress vibes to like some weird cringy old-timey slightly racist country song as her walkout theme. That's all I'm gonna say. If you know, you know. The bridesmaid photos are going to be the bridesmaids taking shots. Listen, I understand that the bride is only like 24 years old, but at some point, people need to realize alcohol is not a classy wedding photo. Like, in like 20 years, when you're like 44 years old, do you really want to look back at your wedding photos, possibly with your kids, and just be like, I was so plastered, like the only way I can remember that anything from that night is from these photos? Is that really what you want to like share with your kids or anybody at even 10 years into the future? The groomsmen photos will have the groomsmen holding guns. During the ceremony, the officiant will say, "Does anybody object?" And all the groomsmen will pull out their guns to jokingly threaten anybody who objects. When the bridesmaids and groomsmen enter the reception, we must run down the aisle lined with shots and take as many of them as possible. You know what? Listen, maybe it's because I'm fucking 32 years old. Maybe it's because I don't drink hard alcohol anymore, because honestly, my body it does not sit well with me anymore. I just feel like shit afterwards. And I'm not even talking about a hangover. Like, even before, like, all of that is just... I am past that age, for me, personally, where getting shit-faced just isn't fucking worth it anymore. It's just not my bag. I am not a prude by any means, nor do I have an issue with alcohol. However, I am very cautious of what I post online. I work for the public school system as a teacher and like to keep things professional. I know the pictures will end up online on social media, and I'd prefer not to be pictured taking shots and chugging alcohol. Also, with the climate of school shootings and other traumatic events, I think the idea of guns is in poor taste. Honestly, same. And I'm not saying, like, because you're a teacher, you have to come off, like, all, like, prudish and high and mighty. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that as a teacher, you should still be able to have fun. But even for 24 years old, even for fucking, like, a 21st birthday, this sounds excessive as absolute fuck. I feel bad backing out after making a commitment. I love my friend, and I am honored to stand by her on the most important day of her life. I know I need to make a decision soon, as she would need time to fill my spot. Am I selfish for worrying about my own finances on her big day, or for worrying about my public image? I don't want to lose a friend over this. Would I be the asshole? Absolutely not. I'm sorry, but to sit there and be like, oh, you know, to be a bride and to be asking so much out of your bridesmaids to the point where it's going to put one of them in a bad spot financially and, like, career-wise is absolutely disgusting. I'm sorry. No, you know what? Fuck you, I'm not sorry. If you are willing to throw away a friendship because you're asking your friend to do something for you that they get nothing from except maybe a good time, and that's your only argument, that will put them in a financial hardship and ruin them career-wise, you are a trash fucking person. You're a trash friend. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It's just how it is. Because honestly, what kind of fucking person would put their friend through something like that? It's just disgusting. All I know is that if I ever had a friend try to pull that shit with me, I would no longer be their friend. Especially if they were willing to throw our friendship away. Like, if I was asked to be somebody's bridesmaid, I had to pay for, like, my own dress and stuff like that. That would be fine. I would just need, to know well enough in advance. And then if they start asking, like, this kind of shit from me, I'm like, listen, like, if those are the requirements to be, like, your bridesmaid, I'm sorry, I have to politely decline, and I hope you find somebody that you wanted just as much as me to fill their spot. And if they were willing to throw away our friendship over that, then they weren't actually my friend. They were just trying to monetize off of me. And if that's the case, then yeah, go fuck yourself. We're going to go ahead and try to do one more Am I the Asshole before we switch over to Am I the Devil. Am I the asshole for asking my brother to pay $30,000 for my engagement ring? Unless y'all are somewhere where you can legally get married to your brother, to your sibling, why the fuck was he paying for your engagement ring? Unless he somehow destroyed an engagement ring that your soon-to-be fiance or fiance bought, then yes. But if not, then why the fuck is your brother paying for your engagement ring? I hosted a family dinner over the weekend. My brother brought my nephews, 4 and 8, over as well. I'm starting to think that the brother destroyed the ring. Or the kids destroyed the ring. I used to wear my engagement ring all the time, but lately I keep it in my walk-in closet and mainly wear it for special occasions. Which I can understand. Sometimes you want the ring to stay as nice as possible up until the wedding, and then, While I was cleaning up the dinner table, my nephews went to go play while the adults were still in the outdoor patio/outdoor kitchen area. My brother was not supervising his kids. It bothers the absolute piss out of me. People that take their kids to any event, not just family events, any event, and don't fucking watch them. Like, I'm sorry, just because you are around other people does not mean that your responsibility as a parent to parent and watch your fucking children stop. It doesn't happen unless there is a babysitter that is there or somebody else that is supposed to be there just to watch children so that way you can have a good time. Your responsibility to parent your children does not fucking stop. During this time, my nephews went into the master bedroom without anyone knowing and started playing with everything, including my engagement ring. When we came to look for them, they panicked because they know they aren't supposed to be upstairs, ran into the master bathroom, and flushed my ring. We called a plumber in case it was somehow in the U-trap of the toilet and not actually gone. But nope. Unfortunately, it was gone for good. I wouldn't have nephews anymore. Like, 4, I could understand. Possibly. Depending on the maturity level of the child. 8, that's a little bit fucking old to think that flushing something is okay. Unless they're, like, mentally challenged. And especially if your children have, like, a mentally challenged or a learning challenge to the point where they're not, they're not on par where the rest of their age group is, please do not leave them alone. My kid has ADHD. I am constantly like, okay, where's my kid? Is he doing what he's supposed to be doing? I don't ever stop parenting him. I don't ever stop watching him because that's my job as his fucking mom. We still had the original receipt, so I called my brother. I emailed him a scanned copy as proof of the cost and asked him to reimburse me for the ring my nephew flushed. Immediately, he started calling me an asshole because we were family and he was just a child. He has refused to repay the cost of the ring. I told him I will be taking him to court for this, and now my entire family is blowing up my phone saying families shouldn't sue each other and to just let it go. It's ridiculous. Edit, no, the ring was not insured. I found out the day after my nephew flushed it. My husband says he forgot and in the end never actually insured it. Edit 2, my brother says he does not have the money to repay even $100 per month and has refused any kind of repayment plan. He says I live in a nice enough house and if I want a replacement, I should just sell my car. Edit 3, my brother to this day has not truly apologized. It was Canadian sorry, not a sorry. He said kids will do what is normal for kids and they shouldn't be held responsible for a ring. They were supposed to supervise their kids outdoors with the rest of the family while I was busy cleaning up. What a trash fucking brother. And I thought my brother was bad. Fuck. I will never understand. Hold on. This one did not get deleted. From the last Am I the Devil / Am I the Asshole? Okay. So this one, I haven't gotten rid of all the ones that I read on Ice Cream Sunday because honestly they're fun to reminisce about. So this one also comes from episode 51 of the Ice Cream Sunday podcast, which was my takeover episode. And we are switched over to Am I the Devil? And so I will read the other title that the reposter gave this story after the story is read. Am I the asshole for being uncomfortable around my girlfriend's sister and her girlfriend? I, 33M, have been dating my girlfriend Han, 31F, for just over a year. Han has a younger sister, C, 27F, who she's extremely close to. C and I get along really well. I'd never met C's girlfriend, but my girlfriend and her are also pretty close. Han and C's parents were the extremely homophobic growing up and kicked C out when she was 16 when they discovered she had kissed a girl. As such, neither of them had a relationship with their parents for the past 9 years. However, in the past year, their parents have demonstrated real growth and have gone out of their way to try and repair some of the damage that they caused. They made an active effort to get to know C and her girlfriend, L, 26F. It was C and L's 4-year anniversary last week. C also just got accepted to do a PhD at Harvard. To celebrate both occasions, they threw a family gathering to celebrate C and L's anniversary and the PhD. They invited many family members and friends. This was the first time I met L. Understandably, C told Han that she was nervous about being in a big group with L and being so public in front of their parents. Throughout the night, C and L were very close and they displayed an unexpected amount of PDA. Hand-holding, the audacity. Occasional hand on back. PDA makes me extremely uncomfortable when anyone does it, and it was unnerving. Towards the end of the night, Han's father made a speech about how proud they are that their daughter, who she is now, and made something of herself despite the irreparable damage they caused when she was young. It was emotional, and Elle held C in a hug because it made her cry for an extended period. It made me so uncomfortable, I had to leave the room. Rereading this, it still makes me so fucking angry. Han said it was extremely homophobic and that the other couples had displayed PDA. She asked me to not call her until I've had to think about if I'm really okay with C. It's not because she's gay, I just really hate PDA and spent more time with her than any other couple. Am I the asshole? I said it then and I'll say it now. Yes, you absolutely the fuck are the asshole. Because, seriously, who the fuck does that? Who the fuck acts like that? Just who? It's absolutely disgusting to only point out the homophobic couple. Or, sorry, not the homophobic couple. The homosexual couple. You didn't complain about any other fucking couple except your girlfriend's sister and her girlfriend. And the most ironic part is that it is at a party that their what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, homophobic parents who have now gotten over their homophobicness of their daughter for said daughter to celebrate her 4-year anniversary with her girlfriend. Yes, the PhD from Harvard, or the Harvard acceptance to do a PhD was also a reason for the party, but it wasn't the only reason. So that would be like going to a wedding and then being like appalled by the fact that the bride and groom kiss and hug and are being affectionate to each other in public in front of all their friends and family. Like, what the fuck else did you expect? For them to just be like fucking nuns and not touch each other all night? And the fact that I don't even like call any of this PDA. I'm sorry. Heavy PDA to me is like making out, tongue down the throat, that kind of shit. It's the stupidest fucking thing. He put his hand on her back and it was just, I about died. It was just like, how the fuck could you in public? Like, this is like some 1940s church after church gossip sesh. It's disgusting. But the second title of this is Couple Holding Hands. Oh, the humanity. Because seriously, y'all are fucking gross. I don't need this one, so I'm gonna delete. It's just like a more like centralized version of what we just read, and we don't need it, so. Okay, good. Am I the asshole for being mad at my fiance because he told me he wouldn't add my name to the house after we got married? Sounds bad. I will read the other title after. My fiance, 28M, and I, 26F, started dating 3 years ago, and I can't wait to be with him for the rest of my life, but I think I might have messed up. You can't sit there and say, I can't wait to be with him for the rest of my life, and I think I messed up in the same fucking sentence. That completely invalidates the other. Either you love him and you can't wait to spend the rest of your life with him, or you done fucked up. It can't be both. I'm sorry. We got engaged 3 months ago and are planning on getting married in November. And last night we were discussing some things about the wedding and the topic of our financial plan for once we are married, which is where the argument started, because I asked him when I would be added to the deed for the house. Background. When my fiance was 23, his uncle died and left him a huge inheritance, which has basically set him up for life, especially since he doesn't like super flashy things and only really spends money on his hobbies. And for the first 2 years after he struggled to date because he was always worried the girl he was dating was using him. I moved in with fiance a year into our relationship, and he has never charged me for any bills and only expects me to pay for a luxury item I want. 9 months ago, me and my fiance had a discussion in which he asked me if I wanted to stop working because I worked as a teacher and he could tell that my work wasn't making me happy, which he was right. We came to the agreement that I would stop working and some ground rules. The ground rules included that he would give me an allowance every month and that he expected me to not just sit at home all day on my phone because he wants me to find hobbies and passions because we both don't want children. I was totally on board with the rules, and quitting really helped my mental health. Which, again, I have totally been there when it comes to, like, having a shitty job and, like, it just taking a toll on your mental health. And I can understand the hobby thing. I don't think any of those things, anything that he asked is, like, something unreasonable. So, when I brought up having my name added to the house deed, he got really quiet. He told me that he didn't feel comfortable adding my name to the deed, as he is the one responsible for all the payments. This made me upset because I thought he was trying to say that I was only using him and we are getting married, so I thought that the house would become ours. He told me things will become ours, but this was the first house he ever bought and he wanted to keep something for himself. He told me that if we decided to change houses or have one built, that which we have discussed before, then he would have both our names put on the deed. This made me more upset because if he is willing to do it on the possible next house, why can't he do it for our current house? We got into an argument and I left to go to my sister's apartment and texted my friend about the situation, and she told me I was being an asshole and overreacting. But I don't see it that way, and I think he should be willing to put my name on the deed. Am I overreacting and throwing away a good relationship, or is he being an asshole by not seeing my side? You're the asshole, for one. Secondly, the reposted title is, am I the asshole for asking my fiance to put my name on a house that he paid for and that he owns and he paid off? Because it frustrates me that there are people out there that think that just because they get married to somebody, they're now entitled to everything that they own. Like, nothing is just theirs anymore. If he wants to do it, that's fine. But also, why does it matter? Like, if you guys are already talking about buying, and like if this was something that he was like, we're never moving, this is the house we're gonna die in, you know, like that kind of thing, I could possibly understand. But the fact that that house was there before you, and that house would have been there without you. At this point, I almost hope that the guy gets a fucking prenup for this lady, because it's definitely giving me I might smother you in your sleep for your money type vibes. Okay, that might be a little dramatic. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Am I the asshole for being attracted to my coworker? I mean, listen. We talk about it a lot. Well, not a lot. We talk about it from time to time about how you can't help who you're attracted to. What you can help is your reaction and the choices you make afterwards. That's how I feel when it comes to pedophiles. Like, if something happens and you find out that you are sexually attracted to somebody you shouldn't be sexually attracted to, it's up to you to do something about it. To either get the help that you deserve, or to just, choose to make different choices. It's when you choose to act upon something that's not okay. That's like, I don't even want to use, like, pedophiles as, like, an example, because, one, it's just, that's a rough conversation anyway, and I don't ever want to feel like I'm coming off as being sympathetic. It's a disgusting, disgusting fucking choice that people make. I'm talking about, like, let's say you're out at a bar. You find somebody attractive, you go up to them and be like, hey, can I get your number? And they say no. And then somehow, some way, you get a hold of their phone and you get their number. They told you no, that's the end of the fucking story. There's nothing else after that. You don't get their number. Or you go up, you hit, like, a guy goes up. I'm going to use this as an example, and I know it's probably a basic example, and it can go the other way around. A guy goes up to a girl at a bar, tries to sexually advance on her. She says, nope, not interested. Follows her home and rapes her because he got what he wanted. She said no. No means no, and no means no. You don't need an explanation for anything else. No is the explanation. No, you don't deserve to give anyone an explanation for telling them no. End of story. Sorry, let's actually read the story now. I, 26M, work in a small office. We had a new employee join us about a month ago. It said a month also, but I think it means a month ago. Lisa, 20s F. She's really beautiful, like bombshell gorgeous type beautiful. For reference, she looks like Scarlett Johansson, who happens to be my favorite actress. It's always the ones that just happen to look like their favorite actresses. I literally cannot help but be attracted to her. If you saw her, you would be too. Bold statement. Just, it seems like he's trying to... I can't think of the word, so I'm just going to move on. So I started leaving her little treats on her desk as a way to win her over. Snacks, coffee in the morning, etc. She seemed to be taking it well, even smiling and thanking me for the gifts. I've been able to catch her around the office more often, and even realized we take the same bus home after work. It's giving me us vibes. Or you vibes. Sorry, not us. You. From the Netflix show. We've been bus buddies for about a week now, and I've gotten to know a lot more about her. She seems to like me too. So I decided to take it to the next level and text her. We all have access to each other's phone numbers in the company database. And I'm sure that is for work only, and I guarantee that there is a contract you signed that you will not use any of that information for personal gain. Turns out she quit this morning and told our boss it was because of me. Now I'm in hot water with my boss because she was apparently a really productive employee. But what was I supposed to do? It's not like I can stop myself from being attracted to her. No, you can't, but you can control the actions you fucking choose to do afterwards. And it's not like I did anything bad. If a woman showered me with that much attention, I would be happy about it. Oh my fucking god. I am going to punch a wall. I hate that fucking men mentality of you should just be appreciative, because he's acting like he's fucking like his affection towards her is something that's so amazing that she should just be so fucking appreciative. Like, how could you not be? Like, it's me. Oh my god. I want to stab my eyes out after reading this. With the red flag. My boss and I have a pretty good relationship, so I'm not getting fired or anything like that, but he is pretty pissed and says I'm an asshole. I just don't get it. Even if she didn't like me, it's not like what I did was enough to quit over. She could have told me to stop, and I would have, but she never gave me any indication that she wanted me to leave her alone. I swear to fucking Christ, something is being left out of this goddamn fucking story, and it bugs the absolute shit out of me, and I fucking hate it so goddamn much. I'm not going to be able to go to sleep back. I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep after this. This makes me want to, like, run around the block, like, 16 different times and just scream into the abyss. The second title for this story is, Am I the asshole for being attracted to my coworker? It's not his fault he sexually harassed her. He couldn't help himself. I'm literally so angry by this story. Oh, there was an edit. I didn't do any sleuthing to find her number. We're all required to post them openly in our Slack profiles, and we don't have company phones, so everyone uses their personal number. My number is there too, and I wouldn't be upset if she texted me. That is sexual harassment. End all be all. That is sexual harassment. That was an improper use of work information. That would literally be like working in an office and finding somebody that is like a customer Okay, so it would be like me working retail, working customer service, signing somebody up for a credit card, and writing their phone number down that they give to, you know, apply for the credit card and stuff, and finding them attractive so later I text them. It's creepy as fuck. If you want somebody's phone number, ask them. If you want something from somebody, ask them. Because everybody has a right to deny their information to somebody for personal gain. And I guarantee somewhere you signed a contract stating that exact same fucking thing. That you would not use any work information from any of your coworkers for personal gain. And that's what you just did. And honestly, the fact that you haven't been fired is fucking disgusting. And absolutely nasty. Because your boss, just because you're friends and you get along, does not make that okay. And if I was a customer with that office, and I found out about that, I would immediately stop being a customer there, and I would find what I needed from your office with a different company. And I would exactly tell them why. I'd be like, I found out that one of your employees sexually harassed another employee and used work information for their personal gain, and you didn't do fucking shit about it. It's just disgusting. It's not okay. I'm gonna read this one because I think we've got enough time, and I really want to have one that doesn't leave me wanting to punch walls. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend she's too old to be crying? I'm 32 years old, and I just had a meltdown the other day, crying at like 2 a.m. Y'all can go fuck yourselves. Using a throwaway instead of my main. So basically what happened is that I, 23M, have a girlfriend, 20F. We've been dating since 2021, and it's one of the best relationships I've ever had. She does anything to make me happy, and I love her so much. It's just shortly after getting together, she lost her dad. I stayed with her and comforted her even when I thought she was being obsessive over it. Oh, I want to stab this person too. Oh, I will say, and over the last year, she seemed to be getting better. I will say she's not close to the rest of her family. She was really close to her dad. She's also not close to my family due to a lot of issues my sister seemed to have with her. My friends were never really close to her. She didn't seem to like them. I have no idea why. Because I bet they're fucking tools like you. But when we hang out, she hangs out with them too, for me. Anyway, today we were hanging out and I left to go to the bathroom and I came back to her sobbing. I asked what was wrong and my friend stepped up and told me he had told her that her dad killed himself because he didn't want to see her again. Of course, this wasn't true. I told her to stop crying, that she was too old to be crying, and she shouldn't be crying over something that was obviously not true. She called me an asshole and said that I always took my friends and family's side and packed a bag and left. She's not answering my calls. She deleted Life 360. I have no idea where she is. I really feel like she's overreacting, but I don't know. Am I the asshole for letting my friend bully my girlfriend and telling her to get over it? You absolutely are the fucking asshole, and you are the biggest fucking red flag of a boyfriend that I have ever fucking read. Because seriously, who the fuck lets their friends bully their girlfriend like that and tell her something like that? That is absolutely fucking disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting. And every single one of you deserve a punch in the fucking throat. I'd say a punch in the genitals, but that would be too good for you because that would involve somebody touching your no-no square. Y'all deserve to be punched in the motherfucking throat. Absolutely disgusting. Oh, I don't understand why my girlfriend's crying all the time because somebody she was really, really close to died. My mom died when I was 17 years old, and for the longest time, every year around her death anniversary, I was absolutely heartbroken. For the longest time, I couldn't watch anything that had a positive mother influence in it because I would absolutely break down crying. It is disgusting. Like, just because you may not give a flying fuck if your parents died does not give you that right to push those same feelings off onto somebody else. If you could lose a parent and not be upset about it, that's fine. But that gives you no right to push those same feelings off onto somebody else. Because honestly, we all feel things differently, and we all have different experiences with people in those same positions. So, like me and my dad do not talk that much. It is due to mostly his personal life choices. The woman he married kind of sucks, if I'm being completely honest. And me and her have had a major falling out in 2020. And the last 3 years of not talking to her have honestly been one of the best ones that I've had in a really long time. And I never realized that I needed that. So, my dad's personal choices to choose her over any of his family, not even just me, his child. I'm talking about, like, his brothers, his sister, people that he used to hang out with. Like, she has changed him just in general. So we don't talk that much. I give him information if I find out about it, that when it pertains to, like, my brother, who wants nothing to do with him. But I also take my brother's thoughts into consideration. Like, my brother's in prison. And he doesn't want to be contacted by our dad. And so I have not given my dad the personal information that he necessarily would need to contact him. Like, he doesn't know his, like, ID number or anything like that you need to write somebody in prison. But he does, it's definitely something he could look up. Like, he could look up where my brother is. It's not hard. You just have to go to the federal database, type in his name, and it's there. It will give you his information, you know, all that stuff. So it's not that he isn't allowed to write him. It's just that he doesn't give a flying fuck enough to try. Because I could tell him absolutely nothing, and it's still something that he could figure out on his own. But I'm running out of time. So it's just... But what I'm getting at is that I would still be sad. I will still be sad when my dad dies. My grandmother, who died, like, a couple years ago, who was my abuser for most of my childhood and even part of my adulthood life, died, and I still cried when she died. So it's okay to cry, and it's okay to be frustrated. But we gotta end this, so please leave your opinion on this down below. Thanks to everyone for listening today. I hope you all enjoyed the podcast. If you know somebody who likes my content, feel free to send me their way in a share. If you would like to send me a message with your own story, rant, question, unpopular opinion, or if you want me to tell others how you fucked up today or any day, send me a message via any of my social media found in the description below. Just look for my cute little avatar you see on whatever app you're listening on. Please, give a rating if you enjoyed what you heard today. I hear that they help out tremendously. And as always, I will catch y'all next time. Bye! And I hope you guys all enjoyed the video today. Please feel free to press any of the buttons down below, leave a comment. The same description that is for the podcast, for listeners only, is also down below here. So all of my information is as well down below. I upload Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon Central Time. My recording schedule on Twitch is currently, for the summer, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays around 5 a.m. Central Time. So again, it's not like I'm expecting, like, all of a sudden an influx of people to be able to watch the recording live. That would be absolutely kind of a ridiculous thought that anybody would want to get up at 5 o'clock just to watch me. So But I will catch you all next time.